Alright. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and it is time for some of the Patreon games. I'm going to do this one particular Patreon games a little different than I'm going to do the others. I'm going to be recording the rest of them, and you guys should be getting those tonight and tomorrow. That's pretty much my entire day tomorrow. We're going to record those, the Patreon games. Not going to be doing all of them live. I may go live with a few of them. But I do expect to see some recordings. But tonight, we've got red-black aggro. Red-black mid-range, kinda, sorta. Got some options in the sideboard to go a little bit more aggro. Got some options to go a little bit more mid-range. Really cool deck. And it's a different take on the red-black aggro with all of the same takes. I'll explain what I mean in just a moment. This one's by Gabriel Clay. I do hope that the last name's the same there. I kind of guessed on that one. But hope you guys like it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Maybe you want to get your deck played here on the stream. Well, you can do that. All you got to do is jump over to the Patreon page over on patreon.com, and there's some options there, and if you feel like you want to help support the stream in that way, you can. And for that, I usually play some games at some point in the month for you guys. We've got a couple more coming up though, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications. Thank you, YouTube notifications, right? Absolutely. If you don't hit, it's funny how YouTube notifications work. So if you don't hit the bell, then you may or may not get notifications. YouTube just kind of decides whether it wants to notify you or not. And then if you actually hit the bell, I think, like, sometimes they still won't notify you. Like, I don't know what's up with that. I've had a lot of people say, hey, I didn't get notified, and I have the bell checked. But anyway, we're going to be playing this red-black mid-range deck. Now, there's some things I'm gonna touch on that I'm not really fond of on this deck. But I understand, and I kind of get where the deck's going, and the deck's got a couple things that say, hey, I'm willing to go into those later turns. That makes a lot of this actually alright. So we're going to play a couple games with it tonight. Actually, probably going to play 3 games with it. We had a couple of our patrons were like, yo, you got to play Clay's Boys deck. And some of you guys might have heard a couple streams back where I was asking, for Justin Clay's son's deck. Well, this is it. Like, I've heard a lot of talk about the deck, and I was like, I want it. I want to play it. Let's do it. Justin sent it to me. Blonde Boy Justin, he sent it over, and he's like, this is my son's deck. Make sure you play this and enjoy. So Gabriel, I hope you get a chance to watch this. If you do, we're gonna have some fun with your deck. Hopefully, we're gonna crush some people. Just crush them. The deck's definitely mean enough to do that, and let's get into that. I want to start right off the bat here with 4 copies of Goblin Chainwhirler, right? Goblin Chainwhirler, man, he's everything we want him to be. The thing that I wanted to start with Goblin Chainwhirler here, and we have seen this in the past, is when you're trying to cast these petals and you actually have too many non-red sources in the deck. I'm a little bit worried about Double Swamp and Field of Ruin. There's one more non-red source in the deck than I really like. I don't like going more than 3. It seems to run into a problem more times than not. But I get the fact that this deck actually has a lot of extra draw. We've got some other things. We're planning to go into the late game. We're planning to cast big walking ballistas. We're planning to do these sort of things. So I kind of understand. And how we're going to get into that late game is we're going to cast cards like Phyrexian Scriptures. Let me move this over. Let's look at some of the things that are different about this deck, not just what's the same about all red-black decks, right? Phyrexian Scriptures here, you put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That creature becomes an artifact. Then the next turn you untap, upkeep, draw, and add an extra lore counter here, and then you destroy all non-artifacts. So you make your Goblin Chain Whirler or your Kari Zev an artifact, put a +1/1 counter on it, and then destroy all non-artifacts and swing with your Scrap Heap Scrounger and your, you know, Kari Zev that's been buffed up. Like, come on, that's exactly where you want to be. I mean, giving a little bit of board wipe might be exactly what this deck needed to help beat against a lot of the mono green decks. Most of the time, this deck does pretty well with the mono green decks, but you know, just wiping the board is absolutely terrific. And then, of course, you know, exiling all cards from all opponents' graveyards for the third chapter. That's nothing to sneeze at either, especially against all the Scarab God decks and things. So we do have a couple copies of Rekindling Phoenix. We've got a couple copies of Vraska's Contempt. Now, Vraska's Contempt is a card that a lot of times we don't see these red-black decks being able to use. And that's one of the reasons he needed the extra couple, you know, black sources. So I get that. I mean, if you're really going for the Vraska's Contempt, then absolutely, you know, you're going to need that extra black source. If you do end up removing a black source or even a Field of Ruin, because it kind of works like an Evolving Wilds when we need it to, you know, if you do end up backing off of the lands, then I would expect this change to go from Vraska's Contempt to Hour of Glory, which is just much easier to cast, of course. Then, you know, like I was saying, we're going into those later turns, and one of the ways that we're going to do that is with Karn, Scion of Urza. Now, I know that a lot of these decks are like they're really big on, you know, Scrap Heap Scrounger and Heart of Kirin and things like that. But you know, this one's actually running Aether Sphere Harvester. We've seen a couple other decks in the past couple weekends. They're running the Aether Sphere Harvesters. They're really helpful against things like Knights. Just the body alone can shut down those first striking Knights that a lot of times, you know, you can't swing into. You can't stop them from swinging into you. Your blocks are kind of horrible. You're not going to be able to really do anything against, you know, like Goblin Chain Whirlers and things. Well, this can actually block a Goblin Chain Whirler, no problem, and you know, kill it as well. Plus, gain you a little bit of life. So, as long as they don't have something like a, you know, Soulscar Mage out there, so that they can't like make this, you know, naturally smaller, or they can't, you know, put a couple damage on it before the first strike, then most of the time you're going to be able to block with that Aether Sphere Harvester. And against the Knight decks, where you're worried about, you know, Knight of Malice and what's the red one, or what's the white one, Knight of Grace. You know, Aether Sphere Harvester is absolutely phenomenal in those matchups. I know that this guy's always playing against, you know, Justin Clay, so we know Justin likes Knights, so I can see that, you know, this was a meta call for him. You know, these two cards alone in the main board really helped out his matchup against the Knights. So, and then one of the best cards against control, of course, you know, Bomat Courier. And then he's got a couple ways to be controlling on his own. He's got a couple Magma Spray here in the main, and a few Braid. Now, no Lightning Strikes or anything like that, but there is 3 copies of Unlicensed Disintegration, and that works really well with cards like Pia Nalaar, giving you that Thopter, and then, you know, late game you can use, you know, Pia Nalaar to... Pia Nalaar becomes a real threat in the late game just because of her fire breathing for Thopters and other artifacts and things like that. Also, being able to sack something like, I don't know, a Scrap Heap Scrounger that, you know, you just bring it back from the graveyard, sack it. So, I mean, that's a 3-mana play to make something unblockable. That is absolutely terrific. And then, of course, moving on up to the last card in the deck, we've got 4 copies of Walking Ballista. Just another really good artifact. I mean, I know there's a lot of you out there that just can't wait till Ballista rotates, and then there's a lot more of you guys that are like, oh man, I don't want to see Ballista leave. Yeah, so is Mardu Vehicles deck still around in Standard? Not the Mardu Vehicles deck that you probably remember, but it has morphed into red-black vehicles, red-black aggro, those sort of things. But a lot of the same things that you remember out of Mardu Vehicles is still present there with Pia Nalaar and Scrap Heap Scrounger. The big thing about Mardu Vehicles that has made it really leave the meta is Goblin Chain Whirler. Goblin Chain Whirler means that you have that extra 3 power dude to crew the Heart of Kirin. You don't need the turn 1. What's his name? Toolcraft Exemplar, plus against opposing Goblin Chain Whirlers, Toolcraft Exemplar just kind of gets beat. So not a lot of people are playing the Toolcraft Exemplar version of Mardu Vehicles that a lot of people remember. I have seen some people play some Mardu Vehicles decks, and most of those decks are actually using the red 1-drop, that if you have an artifact, it gets +1/+1, and it's like a 1/2. So if you have an artifact, you have a 2/3. I can't remember what it is, but it's an artificer. So now in the sideboard here, we've got 3 copies of Duress, we've got 3 copies of Glint Sleeve Siphoner, and then 2 copies of Lost Legacy. Now, that's a lot of black cards. Lost Legacy being 3. I'm assuming that he's still playing against a lot of approach decks and things like that in his meta. Remember, this is a local meta deck, not necessarily meant to go after those, big Pro Tour, whatever. This is meant to, fight his local meta, and from what I understand, he's been doing pretty well with it. So, plus it's good against aggro, right? Like, this deck's pretty sweet. So, and Inspector Apprentice. I don't think it's Inspector Apprentice. It's Apprentice something though. Alright, in the sideboard, we've got 3 copies of Hazoret, 2 copies of Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and 2 copies of Glorybringer for those aggressive decks, where we can kind of just mow them off the field. Is it Inspector Apprentice? No way. Inventor's Apprentice. The Nerd Ape. Yes, Inventor's Apprentice. The last time I actually seen it played in a big deck was in Jerry Thompson's version of Red Black some time ago. So we're going to jump into some games, guys. You ready for this? What's up? I'm going to get some shout outs before we get into this. I think the deck's actually pretty good. I'm going to jump into some queues. So I'll do some shout outs while we're waiting on an opponent. So, what's up, Chris? Stickler for Bricks. Seth, how you doing? Rocker CCR9. Paulo David. Right off the bat, this is truly a mid-range typo deck, not an aggro one, but you still want to watch it. Yeah, you're right. I probably should have named it mid-range instead of aggro. You got me. You got me. That's on me. So, what's up, Gabriel? How you doing, buddy? Mighty Ragnarok, what's up? Sean, how you doing? Yeah, let me get chat pulled up so I can scroll back up and see all's up here. Jareth Miles, and that's it. I think that's it. Got Justin Clay, Michael. What's up, Michael? How you doing, buddy? Well, we'll see if we can get an opponent. If we get an opponent, we will rock face. I mean, it goes more into mid-range in the sideboard. I think it's still an aggressive deck. Yeah, you could call it mid-range. You could call it aggro. It's still red-black. I mean, we've still got turn 1s, turn 2s. Yeah. I am doing well. We had a little bit of a power outage. Jareth Miles, did you have problems with the power outage yesterday? Like, we lost internet, we lost power till like midnight, man. Right? Gabriel the Dragon Lord, what's up, buddy? Yeah, man, we've got your deck here. Alright, so we get to start in with a Canyon Slough since we don't have a really powerful 1-drop. Like, we don't have one of our Bomat Couriers or something. I mean, we've got a 1-drop or 1-mana play, but I think I just want to start with a Slough. Then we can just come in with Mountains. And I'm going to avoid playing the Swamp just in case I top deck a Goblin Chain Whirler or something like that. I'll try to play the Swamp on turn 4, and then of course if by turn 3 I don't have another land or the Goblin Chain Whirler, at that point we'll just go ahead and play the Swamp. But I'm going to hold out as long as possible on playing the Swamp just so that I can, save myself. Oh man. I want to make the most of my mana here, and I don't really want to use my Magma Spray yet. And we just drew another Walking Ballista, so we're just going to use one of these Walking Ballistas as a kill spell, and we're just going to get it done. And then next turn we can Kari Zep and leave up a Magma Spray. Hey, bolt the bird, right? Bolt the bird. You guys got me. Ironic, the one deck that you've lost against in your current ladder is the type of deck on stream. Oh man, you know, these red-black decks, they're mean, dude. Oh man, so... Well, we're definitely going to play... We're going to play Bomat Courier. And I'll try to do this right. We'll play Bomat Courier, we'll swing, and then second main phase, I will put in the Karizev. So if he just goes Still Leaf Champion here, he did. Alright, so I'm just going to swing with Karizev. She's got Menace, so I mean, we'll still tick in for a little bit. I doubt he blocks. He snapped off a block. So he blocked, which I really wasn't expecting him to block. But he did. So we're gonna play our Walking Ballista, and we're gonna kill that Still Leaf Champion. Magma Spray, getting it done. Now, I think if I would have swung with the Bomat Courier there, he would have blocked the Bomat Courier and just taken the extra 2 points of damage. Now we've got him caught on mana, which is pretty decent. And we'll stack Karizev first. Probably should have put Karizev first so that you get your card under the Bomat Courier. Because if they... I mean, that's really only against a white deck that you would even worry about that. I'm going to hang on Walking Ballista. Next turn we're looking at playing Karn, so... yeah. This could get really good, guys. I actually think I want to play Karn... Never mind. We're just going to jump into the next game. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Oh, we're having some frame problems. Alright, we're back. We're back. There, that should have taken care of the frame issues. Okay, so I 100% want Hazard. But if I'm bringing in Hazard, I want to free up a little bit of my higher converted mana cost spells. And I don't know it's probably going to be Aether Sphere Harvester. I want to get rid of that because it's going to be hard to get it out of my hand. Blocking with PNLR is not just terrific here. Glorybringer is a great card in this matchup. So is Chandra, but I'm actually going with the Hazard plan, so I wouldn't mind one more Glorybringer. I think I'll take out a Karn here. And I should probably take out both Karns in this matchup, honestly. Or the Scrap Heap Scroungers. I want the deck to be extremely fast, and Vraska's Contempt worries me. Like, it really worries me having the Vraska's Contempt in here. Like, it's probably take out Scrap Heap Scrounger because he can't block. I'm on the draw. So, maybe we do need to be just, like, defensive. I think Hazard's going to be a very defensive creature here. I just don't know if I want 3 Hazards, though. a lot of 4-drops to leave in for Hazard. Let's go Contempt, Contempt. And I'm just trading them for other 4-drops, which doesn't make me overwhelmingly happy. I just need more cheap dudes. Let's just go 1 PNLR. It's probably Glint Sleeve Siphoner, but I'm just going to go with a PNLR. I mean, his Vine Mayors aren't that great here. I mean, we just block with a Chain Whirler or something like that. This is not bad. It's not a bad hand at all. And we know that we have the hazards in the deck to draw into. So, this is fine. Now, if he plays turn 1 Llanowar Elf, I'm probably just going to Mountain and kill it. Really? What are we doing here, opponent? Okay, so we get the opportunity to play ours. I mean, again, if he would have went Elf, then, you know, we had to... I don't think Contempt is as huge as you think it is in this matchup. First off, Red-Black doesn't even run Contempt. Unless his Disintegration is going to do absolutely terrific here. The only thing that I'm actually worried about contempting, period, is Aronis. So, I don't think Contempt is as important as you may think it is. That's not bad. We still have to kill it, right? Because worst case scenario, like, I know some of you are like, why didn't you use the Walking Ballista this time? Because worst case scenario, I can play the Walking Ballista for 0 to just dump my hand later. And I can't really do that with a Magma Spray. So because I don't have a bunch of Walking Ballistas, I don't really want to risk it. I would love for him to go like Elf, and just have a Landlight hand here. Doubt he's going to do that, but man, that would be something special. Is he just going to pass back to us? Okay, well, we're definitely just going to start getting these Chain Whirlers down. And passing the turn. I mean, next turn I'm going to get a Phoenix down. See, Phoenix is actually better than a Vraska's Contempt in this matchup. And the reason I say Phoenix is better in this matchup is because they don't have a lot of kill spells. They don't have a lot of ways to fight back. And if you guys notice, this isn't red-black like that we're playing against. This is or green-black. This is a green. Oh man, oh, it's so sweet. So I could go Phoenix here, but I'm actually want to do this like Bomat Courier thing. Like Bomat Courier, another like Goblin Chain Whirler, or do we put the Phoenix down and just start rolling with that? I want to get this Bomat swinging. I want to get to swinging with this Bomat. Yeah. And then I'll just play like Walking Ballista or something. I don't want to play the other Goblin Chain Whirler yet. Like, we're not pressured here, and our opponent's a little bit behind. So, I mean, I could spend my energy. I also probably should have cast the Bomat Courier off of the colorless. Okay, so he's going to use a shock here. That's not that scary. Just gonna play Ballista or Ballista for 1. Maybe it would have been better to actually use the energy and go ahead and play the Goblin Chain Whirler and get it out of the hand. Next turn we're looking at like Phoenix, and then the turn we draw land, we will we'll get down the hazard. So, I mean, if we draw land next turn, ooh, Sarkhan's Unsealing. All right, so we need to speed things up. Magma Spray. Alright, so, I mean, he's probably going to cast something big next turn. I mean, we played Dev's red-black version of Sarkhan's Unsealing. The Phoenix works really well here against Sarkhan's Unsealing too. So. And then we can go Goblin Chainwhirler and play Magma Spray. Alright, so here we go. Is it a 4-power guy you got? Banefire for 3. A lot of people said in Deb's chat that Banefire should be in the Goblin, the deck. I don't know. I don't really know if I think that's true. He's at 12. 8. Put him at. We can put him at dead next turn, right? So I'm playing Hazoret. I'm gonna Magma Spray Hazoret. And then pass turn. So yeah, I think that's the best way to go right here. Is just go ahead and end this before things get out of hand. Doesn't really matter. Oh, big, cool. It's Carnage Tyrant. Bam, you got us. So yeah, like. I was afraid that he was going to have something like Regisaur Alpha, a bunch of blockers, or something like that. So I wanted to just go ahead and get something down, get him to as close to lethal as possible. Boom! Get wrecked, son! So far I like the deck, Gabriel. So far. I like winning. So, you know, I like the deck. I see how, like, I bet people will get mad at you, Gabe. I do. I bet people get mad at you playing this deck. Do they just, like, have you had anybody just throw their cards down playing against you? Yeah, Phoenix is great against the green decks. I mean, even that deck, he was planning on wiping the board just one time. And then, you know, from there, we got our little token, we get our Phoenix back, we get in the air. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, this is Jay's son's deck. Justin Clay's son's deck. So, Gabe, I hope you don't disagree with some of my lines of play too much. I know a lot of chat, you know, it's one of their favorite things is to say I'm wrong, right? Red-green seems to be the best colors for Unsealing. I think so, and I actually think Unsealing could probably get away with 3 colors. I think the deck is trying to be slow enough in the beginning that you can handle having turn 1 tap lands, and then just kind of rocking out from there. But yeah, I think the deck needs to be based in green. Alright, so this is a really slow hand. We can turn 2 cycle, which isn't horrible, but if we come up against a really fast hand, then, you know, the first time we're going to get anything happening is going to be turn 3. We're going to be, you know, playing an Aether Sphere Harvester. Now, if I knew I was playing against, like, a control deck or something like that, I was on the draw, or, yeah, I would probably play this. But we're going to ship this back. I'm going to ship this back in hopes of something a little sweeter. This is barely that, but it is just a... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to keep that Goblin Chainwhirler. The Honorary Ocelot. Let me take that stop out. I just wanted to kill that guy on our upkeep earlier. Alright, so we will just play a mountain and pass. Goreclaw is mega fun and Commander as, oh yeah, oh I bet. Goreclaw is just, he seems good. I want to play the Goreclaw deck, like with the red-green Sarkhan's Unsealing. I want to play that Goreclaw style. Goreclaw style. I mean, we drew a 2-drop. Like, that was perfect. So, I mean, we still got PNR coming up next turn. I'm not going to just kind of rush down a Goblin Chain Whirler and spend this energy. But yes, Goblin Chain Whirler is an amazing card to drop down on 3. But until I have a consistent black source, I don't want to just give up that one form of energy. And the only way we have to get that back is either draw another... Like, I'm probably just going to spend this right here and then swing in. So, yeah, this is, we're probably just doing this. I mean, we could probably just swing anyway. But right now, he's got shields down. We get to hit him for 6 this turn, plus get rid of a Benelish Marshal. We've got our land for next turn, which means we know that we're going to be able to play that Goblin Chain Whirler anyway. We're going to be able to play that Phoenix. So, you know, now I'm definitely in the clear to spend that energy. And just, you know, clear the board. Let's get in for 6 points of damage and roll with it. Alright. Is this like an Angels deck? See, now there's the Dragon Skull Summit, which means, you know, we're definitely in the clear here. Probably should have cast that second main phase, so... but if he's got a Silhouette, now he may be interested in maintaining that Silhouette to deal with the Phoenix instead of going ahead and spending it on the Scrap Heap Scrounger, which means we go ahead and get our damage in now. If he uses this on the Phoenix, then I'll be really happy. Nope, did not. So that means he's got another way to deal with the Phoenix, right? Is that how that works? I guess we just run the Phoenix into this. If he's got a settle or anything, really, we'll take it. Another cast out. Okay. And bam. Now, I mean, if he just wipes the board here, then hey, I don't know what to do. Shall I? Voice of Plenty? 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing with Thopter? I mean, honestly, I get to swing with either one. Yeah. Alright, so the math here, I'm just going to swing with Thopter and Pia. If he blocks either one, we'll kill his Shala. Okay, he's going to block the Thopter. So, we're going to go... That's probably a punt. I probably shouldn't have used the last 2 mana and just cast the Goblin Chain Whirler for the extra point of damage to put more threat on the battlefield. Because we knew either way that we're sacrificing the Walking Ballista here. So, I mean, I could have just maximized usage of my mana if I would have pumped once and then played the Goblin Chain Whirler. So yeah, that was a punt. That was definitely a punt. We could have put more to the battlefield so that we had more of a threat come next turn. So, yeah. Knight of Grace. This is kind of a bad predicament right here. I mean, I know I want to shoot the knight and remove the knight, But we really can't swing with anything here, and he starts giving it a lifelink. He's going to start making tokens, and we're done for. Like, we just lost right here. Bam, done. Angels, done. Yeah, I mean, he swings, pumps, makes an angel, and he didn't do it. Wow. Wow. Okay. It's +2/+2. He still pumps in response to the Goblin Chamber. Yay. I still don't think I can swing here. I mean, if I swing and he uses his mana, pumps, makes a dude. At the beginning of each end step. So he can do this on my turn, so probably shouldn't have swung at all here. So he spends his mana on a cast out. That is not what I expected. He blocked and... Alright, well, I'm going to play the Chain Whirler anyway, even though I think that we just die to this. I think the Resplendent Angel, like... I don't think the opponent made a good attack right there. He needs 6 for that? Is it 6? Oh, okay. That's what it was. I thought it was 5. So now we're dead to it. Absolutely. I thought it was 5. Yeah. So, I mean, we can attack, but I mean, we're getting in for 1. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it. Scooping it up. There's a chance we could have won that. I mean, there's a chance we could have, drew into more things. But with the Angels, I definitely think I want this package. I also want Duresses over a Braid or Magma Spray. Probably over Scrappy Scrounger. Phyrexian Scriptures is probably going to be pretty good. The Phoenix is going to be good because we're in the air. Aether Sphere Harvester is going to be good. I don't think this is a Coreset fight. And Bomat Courier is probably going to be terrific here. Walking Ballista is probably not going to be that terrific, so I'm going to pull off on a couple Walking Ballistas. I almost want to bring Glintsleeve Siphoner in for this matchup, but with those first strike guys, oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize it pumped for 6. You have added that to your Knights deck, right? Like, tell me if you're still running your Knights deck, Justin, that you're now running the Resplendent Angel, like the Angel package with your Knights. Like, I definitely think that's the best way to be with Knights right now is the Angels. And the Angel's a 3/3. It crews hard of Kieran. So I want to take over in card advantage? Yeah, probably. Like I want to have my removal. I want to make sure that he can't remove things from me. So blue-red versus mid-range? What? So you want to take over in card advantage and the Menace is better? What, with Glintsleeve Siphoner? Yeah, Glintsleeve might be better than Duress. It may be. Oh, no, we can't keep this. I mean, maybe I could have, but I don't think I'm going to. Absolutely put that on top. It's going to come in handy. So we're just going to run out our Canyon Slough and pass. And then we get to go Mountain and Duress. Like, we might be able to get, like, a History of Benalia or something like that. Come on, game. Come on, game. What's going on, Magic? Oh, no, Magic. Magic. Alright, so he's got a Benelish Marshal, Resplendent Angel, Ixalan's Binding, and Oketra's Monument. Well, I can deal with most of these things. I think I have to deal with the... What is he going to bind? Phoenix? I'm going to take the Ixalan's binding. And that's because I plan to be able to... yeah, I think that's right. If Chandra gets to stick around for multiple turns, then... Alright, so he played Plains. We're getting there. So now we start following up his plays with plays of our own. And if he goes for the O'Catcher's Monument, then that's just terrific. Okay, so he's going to go Angel here. Which means I go Chandra, kill the Angel. I could uptick and kill the Angel and then still be able to downtick next turn, but I'm not going to. The plan is here to get him to play out, you know, the O'Catcher's Monument or something like that, and then be able to abrade it. Next turn we're looking at being able to abrade and add a Phoenix to the battlefield. Schlav Voice of Plenty, that's not terrific. Double abrade, okay, so yeah. Drawing the abrade is definitely punishment for not, you know, upticking last turn. So let's go ahead and see what we have on top. It was nothing. So yeah, we can Schlav Voice of Plenty, unless he wants to sacrifice the Shephet Dunes to swing. In which case we'll just block anyway. O'Catcher's Monument, don't have a 2-drop, dude. So we've seen this, we've seen this. He had a Resplendent Angel. He's getting there. He's getting there. Okay, so... Oh, Glorybringer, look at that. Don't mind if I do. It's always nice to pull a Glorybringer off the top, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind if I do here. So... we'll attack and exert. We'll go ahead and, you know, take out the Schlav Voice of Plenty. We know he's got a Benelish Marshal and then one other thing in hand. I'm just going to keep the Rekindling Phoenix back on for blocking duty. This way we can keep our Chandra alive just a little bit longer. I mean, he's got the mana. He's coming in. So he definitely pumps, which, you know, that happens. Okay. And now we can... let's count our mana. So we can play a Phoenix and a Braid. Let's just look at the top card. Ooh. We'll get rid of the 4/4, and then we'll deal 3 damage here, and I think we attack. I think we can start getting in now. We will have to remove this O'Catcher's Monument here very soon, but next turn we're going to be killing the Benelish Marshal. I assume that's what he plays, unless he top decks something else just horrific. These Knight stacks. Woof. Wow. Sunscourge Champion. That's not as scary as a lot of things could have been. Like, the Benelish Knight will be a little bit mean. Or the Benelish Marshal. I assume Chandra gets hit for 1 here. Right? Chandra taking a little bit of a beating for us. She's good at that. She can take a bit before she goes down most of the time. All right, so we've got a ton of mana now. So let's uptick Chandra. See what else is on top of the library. Just a land. We're gonna play our Phoenix. I think we're killing the Oketra's Monument with this Abrade. Like, I just don't want him to continue to get value, and his dudes are about to get much bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and get into combat. And oh, what do you got here? Cast out. Going to cast out Glorybringer. Okay. So how much does that change things? That means if we want Chandra to live, we have to... We have to just pass. If I want my Chandra to live, I have to pass and let him make yet another token so that I can kill the Benevolent Marshal and eat 2 of the current tokens. That's not what we wanted. That's a Lyra. That is Lyra. Bye, Lyra. That's brutal. It's brutal that, like, I was saving these to do so many mean things. And then, no. Nobody gets to do nothing. I gotta draw Lyra off the top of my deck. Alright. Alright, what do we get? What do you want to give us? Magma Spray. Love it. I love it. So we get to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at Karn. Erg. What was the other card we revealed? Goblin Chain Whirler? Right. Because he sure doesn't want us getting that. Not before he gets this Benevolent Marshal down, anyway. Benevolent Marshal. Okay, so Karn's going to take a wee beating. We get our Phoenix token. We get our Phoenix back. Yay, Phoenix back. I am going to... this is going to be so good. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to down tick Karn. I'm going to grab the Goblin Chain Whirler. We're just going to do this now. I'm not even going to be coy about it. Yeah. And he scoops it up, right? Just look, we're just wiping the board. Done. Getting back to Chain Whirler. We're gonna go from there. Okay. The card advantage thing was kind of real, but I don't know if Duress is really where I want to be. I think Glint Sleeve might be better. I didn't realize that he actually had cards like Oketra's Monument in the deck, which that alone being in the deck makes me think that Duress might be where I want to be. Like, I don't want him to continue with, like, Oketra's Monuments and stuff, so. Right, yeah, but we didn't have an artifact, so, you know, that wasn't even, like, a possibility. So. Maybe it is Duress. Maybe it is Duress over Glint Sleeve here. I know that I want the board wipe. I don't think I want to take the board wipe out. He's got too many big dudes. He's going to make tokens. He's going to keep going wide. So, yeah. Yeah. We got there, Blair. Right, if we neg 2, we make an artifact. Well, you're right. We would make an artifact. We would have... but that wiped the board, and we kept the Karn up. Like, he had 0 cards in hand at that point, and we maintained a much better board state. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I like the line I took. Yeah. 10 of 10 Phoenix, OP. Yeah, Phoenix is pretty OP, Gabriel. Walking Ballista is probably better than I thought. Yeah, I'm going to go the Duress route. I think Duress was actually the right play here. Do I have room to leave these 2 Walking Ballistas in? Maybe just 1. I'll take out 1 Pia. I want to keep some air blockers. He's got a bunch. He's got a bunch. So. Yeah, tomatoes. This isn't horrible. Right, and then that makes it look a little bit better even. Although not having a Bomat Courier in hand in turn 1 makes me go, okay, now I really don't want to draw a Bomat Courier, but I think I'll go ahead and get down a Walking Ballista. I mean, we've got to deal with, you know, Schla, Voice of Plenty. We got to deal with a bunch of things. There's the Monument. I'm going to be done with this right now. I mean, yeah, he might just be like, bam, another Monument. But that's 2 turns of him not doing much. Knight of Grace. Oh man, isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? This is why you play 1 mana kill spells, guys. For moments of bliss. Just like this. Now we need to draw land. There's a ton of things we could draw here. The one I'm most excited about is I mean, if he goes to fill the board up, like, just don't play a Benelish Marshal. All right, top deck land. Resplendent Angel. I mean, so him putting a bunch of dudes down's not horrible. Goblin Chain Whirler is going to get a little bit bigger. Isn't that a cool Goblin Chain? Oh man, why don't it? It looks like Gearhulk. I'm swinging. I mean, he's got a huge crackback next turn, but I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not like he can add more to the board, and he spent most of his hand at this point. Right, exactly. Nice scriptures there. I mean, he dumped a bunch onto the battlefield, so yeah. Do I think Shock Lands will get reprinted in the rotation? I think more than most lands, I think Shock Lands will be reprinted. I think there's a lot of people that are under the impression that Shock Lands or something like that's coming because we're going back to Ravnica. So yeah, I mean, if they were going to reprint it, Ravnica's a really good spot to, you know, throw that in there. So. No blocks. I mean, I'm just going to take the beats here. We draw, Duress. Ooh, he's got a Lyra. Oh man, that's bad. That is so bad. Okay, Lyra and Knight of Grace. Well, we know what we have to do. So next turn comes Lyra. Like, I expect Lyra right here. Land off the top. Come on, land off the top. Land off the top, and it is just over, ladies and gentlemen. Never mind. A top-decked authority is pretty good. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Just gonna go ahead and get in. Oh, what? What? You don't want to put Lyra in front of my 4/4 first striker with my 1 walking ballista here? Come on, opponent. Come on. Check lands, shock lands, and 3-color decks were perfect. You're right. I actually really enjoyed playing, and I've said it a couple times. I used to play Jeskai Black or Grixis White, whatever you want to call it. But I used to play that deck. It was a lot of fun. I mean, we kill Lyra here. What else does he have? Aether Sphere Harvester. Come on, dude. Come on. Alright. Alright, so we're actually going to pump the pump the walking ballista. I'm going to remove a counter, hit the Lyra. And then we're going to get into combat. We'll exert Glorybringer on the Lyra. I mean, it's a lot of damage coming at him. Like, he can block here if he wants. That's probably pretty bad. I probably shouldn't have swung with this one. Yeah. Yeah, because this one's free for him. He just gets to eat that. I shouldn't have done that. Should have swung with these two. Because the walking ballista protects. So he gets to gain even more life here. And then he has, what, lethal on crack back here? Ouch, yeah, I should have left that back. 100% should have left that back. I mean, okay, so he crews. Swings for 3. So we will block. Yeah, that might have cost me the game there. Just swinging with that one dude. I shouldn't have swung with it. I knew that I shouldn't. And I did anyway. And then now we're kind of dead. Just because of the authority. Oh, wow. Another Lyra. Lyra! Oh! Yeah. I don't know if we would have been able to beat the Lyra anyway, but I still shouldn't have swung with that one. Yeah, that was the mistake that cost me right there. I'm admitting it, SD. I'm admitting it. I shouldn't have swung with it. It was a punt. Yeah. This is why you play Fight with Fire or Bane Fire. It's also why you play Unlicensed Disintegration. Yeah. Unlicensed Disintegration will do it as well, ladies and gentlemen. Murder works if you can cast it. But I also like Fight with Fire. I like Fight with Fire. There's these crazy games that you end up in where you like ultimate a Fight with Fire, whatever you call it. Kick it. Yeah. This is like a Bomat Courier hand. Oh. So we can go double Bomat on turn 2 if we play the Canyon Slough on turn 1, and we'll actually have some color. The other option is to just get in there on 1 anyway. Either way, I'm going to keep. I mean, I can go Bomat on 1, play tap land on 2, play another Bomat. I think I want to get that first one rolling, so yeah, we're just gonna roll out like this. Field of Ruin. I mean, this is like a horrible land situation, so like drawing a Goblin Chain Whirler or something like that, it's gonna feel horrible. But as long as we, you know, get, I mean, we're looking at like a turn 3 Coreset, but we're gonna have Bomat just working. Right, Lathliss is, like, every time I play one of the Dragons decks, I just want to see Lathliss more and more. Like, they have to answer it immediately in a Dragon deck. Lathliss is terrific, guys. Like, if you guys are talking about Dragons, then, oh man, yeah, Lathliss is good. I mean, she's the queen. She is the queen. I do want to let everyone know that I will not be running all of the Patreon decks, you know, with 3 games each. There's just a lot of you guys, like, I know Jeffrey left me a message going, hey, look, you gotta play Gabriel's deck. You know, and Justin wanted to see it. Like, everyone was just talking about how good this deck was, and it does feel really good. I mean, I made a punt there that cost us a game, but everything's just kind of come in nice and smooth, even though we have had, you know, the different lands and things. Things have still come in smooth. Shocking us. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, opponent? Tell me it was worth it. Right, so that was the one thing we didn't want to draw, was the Bomat Courier. I mean, was the Goblin Chain Whirler there. Come on, opponent. It's all on you, opponent. Pathmaker Initiate. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn? Okay. Okay. What was it? Goblin Tunneler? Or something like that was the card? So, I could play Coreset, but I'm actually really interested in getting more cards under this Bomat Courier. So I'm gonna kill this thing. It doesn't look as important. Keynote. That's a wizard. That is a wizard. Why are we losing frames? But I just want more cards under my Bomat. I mean, I assume the opponent's got plenty of ways to, like, you know, remove it, but every time that we swing with a Bomat, it's just more fuel for our fire. So I'm pretty liberal with my walking ballista here. Like, some people they want to hang on to it. It's a 2-mana kill spell for, you know, for a 1-power creature. Just the fact that the opponent played this, if the opponent's not some type of Wizards deck. Now, if the opponent's like Mono Red Wizards or something like if the big text on this card that matters is the fact that it's a wizard, then we might be in trouble. If it's here because he wants to make something unblockable, whatever. Man, that ain't cool. Play you another Pathmaker Initiate. I will burn this energy so fast to wipe your board. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep it slow and steady here. If he's got an Abrade, he's got an Abrade. But next turn we get to just like play something like a Coreset, or we get to play a Goblin Chain Whirler. I know I'm kind of holding back on the Goblin Chain Whirler a little bit, but I don't think that we have to just slam it on turn 3, so, yeah. Oh man, Glorybringer is one of the few cards that I really don't want to see it rotate. Like, every set needs that great dragon. One of the first dragons I ever really got around to playing with, and when I really started to enjoy dragons and the Magic lore and everything else, was Thundermaw Hellkite. I was playing this this Grixis deck. Even back then, I was toying around with this Grixis deck. It was a Grixis control deck, and the only way in the deck, other than my Planeswalkers, I had to kill you, was to use my Terror of the Fairgrounds. I mean, it's a 5/2. Well, we get to do all the things, I guess. I mean, might as well spend the energy here, right? I mean, I could just gain more life with the energy, but he's tapped out, so I mean, it's not gonna matter. He's not gonna block me anyway. I'm guessing he's reading. Alright, so I'm just gonna do this now. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't really matter. Only because the opponent's tapped out. And since I definitely have 3 red sources now, I will go ahead and give this lifelink. Careful when you play with this card online. If you click it multiple times, you'll give it light, like you'll spend the energy multiple times, but you're only going to get the one form of lifelink. So, you're doing your elves with a dragon. Didn't you just submit a green-white deck, Mr. Willie? I want to say there was a green-white deck I seen from you. I haven't pulled the list yet, but it's gonna be I'm gonna be playing it tomorrow. I've got Rush's deck that I'm gonna be recording later tonight, and then I don't think I've got one from Justin yet. And then later this week, at some point, we've got James Clugston's going to do a stream challenge. So I'm trying to make sure that I can get the times working with him and everything. But we're probably just going to do like a 4 o'clock in the afternoon kind of thing, where kind of like the time coffee time normally was and stuff. We'll probably just pull up. I'll go live, because that's part of the stream challenge. You challenge the. He did. He swung. He getting in there. He don't care about first strike. First strike don't scare him. He's a new player, guys. We're playing against a new player. Your updated black-white trial? Not really. I'm sorry, Justin. Are you still on that deck? You're still on the trials? I mean, we have angels in it now. Right? He was like, what? What just happened? Goblin Chain Whirler just wrecked me. My little 2/5. No, I mean, I'll play it. I'll happily play it, Justin. I really will. Tell me you added angels to it. Tell me we're running an angels package now, or we're Esper, one or the other. Esper Knights, or Esper Benelia, or black white angels, or green white angels. That's what I want to see. Like, I think that's the area that those Knights decks or the Angels decks should be doing good. Adding the Ajani and the histories, and don't leave me hanging like this, Justin. Ajani's histories and what? Resplendent Angel? Had it Esper but switched it back. Okay, alright. Okay, so I don't know what the opponent's got here. I'm on the draw. I'm just going to bring England Sleep Siphoner and ship it back. Well, I mean, Glint Sleeve go, right? I'm okay with this. I mean, it's a decent hand. Our opponent doesn't have like the meanest deck in the world, so yeah. Gabriel the Dragon Lord. Yes, yes, I do. It's pretty sweet. I think you need one more braid in it. After this game, I'm going to go talk about the deck a little bit. And I'll give you my advice. And before I give you my advice, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, remember this about your Magic decks. Very few will you ever build in your entire life. Will you be able to hand to your friend and say, what do you think about it? And your friend go, it's perfect. That's not what Magic players do. We never look at each other and go, this deck is perfect. I wouldn't change anything. No, we don't. Come on, Magic players. Do we do that? Nah, man. You gotta, like, I don't like this. Why are you running that extra land, man? Why is this land in the sideboard? Like, that's my Magic player's voice, I guess. But no, we just don't do that. So, do take it with a grain of salt, Gabriel. Every person you ever show your deck to is going to tell you their opinion, what they would do, or what they would put in the deck to make the deck whatever. I'm going to tell you that there's some things that I would change, but remember, it's your deck, and if you're having fun playing it, you know, always going to be your responsibility of what you take to your F&M or to your tournament. Like, so no matter who told you what, remember, it is your choice to say, okay, I am going to listen to that person, or I'm not going to listen to that person. So, you know, if you make a change to your deck based on something I say or something your father says, or maybe you let Jeffrey Willig look at your deck, and he was like, man, this just doesn't have enough Still Leaf Champion in this red-black deck for me. I don't know. Sorry, Mr. Willig. But anyway, like, you just have to take it with a grain of salt. But as soon as we get done with this game, we're gonna swap over to looking at the deck. I'll pull it up, and I'll talk about it. I'll talk about a couple of things. Just put fling in it. Just put fling in it. Oh, Blur of Blades. What is this? We just got Blur Blades, and he got prowess out of it, guys. This is getting real. You just killed my Glint Sleeve Siphoner, dude. We were just kind of joking around. We was being friends. We was all cool up until like 2 seconds ago. Until you Blur of Blades. I get hit for 4 this turn, guys. We were looking at 1 point of damage on the other side of the battlefield. Blur of Blades. I mean, alright. If he goes Black Land, the Scorpion God, oh, I'm gonna freak. I am. I'll freak out. You can't do it, Goblin Chain Whirler. Maximize use of our mana and just kill this thing. I think we can wait. Like, unfortunately, I think the way that the opponent's deck's designed is he's going to teeter out. He's going to run out of gas long before we will. Our powerful creatures are gonna take over the game, and it's gonna be lights out. He will need to draw some major stuff to be able to beat Chain Whirler, Phoenix. Even if we can't play our Chain Whirler next turn, I've got an Unlicensed Disintegration here if he doesn't get rid of the Walking Ballista. Like, Roman Klein, what's up, man? How you doing? I've got more Devs deck coming up this week. I know you're a fan of the Devs deck, not necessarily the budget Devs decks. I like budget sometimes, but when you play budget, you get into this situation like we're in right now, where we're playing this high-powered, really well-tuned, powerful deck. And we've got, like, what is this dude again? Well, okay, he just cast a Giant Spectre here, right? Which means he's going to hit me, okay? We're going to get hit again. maybe he'll pump it again and put even more cards on it. This way our one kill spell is now going to kill multiple cards. Okay, so yeah, okay. Just don't blur blades me again, dude. No more blur blades. I mean, yeah, we take 4. We didn't get a land, so I mean, I think that's like the only way we lose this matchup is to hit, you know, just land and or no land and just never be able to cast any of the things. So I am going to pass. I want to do this stuff on his turn. He's got a red deck. He doesn't have ways to give hexproof and things like that. Watch him go green land, blossoming defense is held up, and then I die. But the real goal here is that maybe he just wants to enchant this thing some more. Maybe he wants to put some more stuff on it. And if he goes that route, then... wow, okay. So, I mean, here's his Terror of the Fairgrounds again. Yeah. No point in letting you get into combat, fella. We're just going to go ahead and deal with your dude. Dealing with the dude. So Swamp off the top is good. Dragon Skull off the top is good. Mountain off the top is good. Anything other than Canyon Slough is really good off the top. That's not bad either. I mean, he's got 2 cards in hand. We've got nothing else we're doing this turn. Just take another 4 and then we'll pass. 3 from this, 1 from the Walking Ballista, 4 damage. You play black-green sapperlings for God's sake. Saplings is okay. Saplings, sporlings, saporlings, fungi, some fungi. Yeah. So what I say about Dev's decks are like Dev puts out like 30 decks in 3 months, like one every 3 days or so, right? So he puts out about 30 decks in a 3-month period, somewhere between like 20 and 30. And out of anything you're gonna do, like, oh man, these menace dudes. All right. I mean, this is getting a little bit hairy here, guys. He may do exert it. If he does, he can hit us for 4, so he can swing twice in 1 turn. Okay, that's cool. I don't think we can swing here for sure. Yeah, the mana's being rough, but anyway, so like in any given set, I was talking about Dev's decks. In any given set, you know, there's only going to be 1 or 2 tier 1 decks. You know, sometimes you're going to get 3, and then very rarely will you get something like 4 tier 1 decks in a set. Most of the time, just the fact that there are 4 tier 1 decks means that the meta hasn't been like solved yet. But anyway, very rarely do you have that kind of, you know, thing going on. Are you going to exert this? What are you doing here, opponent? Because I'm coming with this. Like, this is happening. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and take us to 8 right now. And then we swing back. And he's got his prowess. Come on. Come on, red source off the top. Just... right? I'm with you, Roman. Land my kingdom for a land. Alright, my kingdom for a piece of the kingdom. Right? Whatever. Anyway. You know, when you only have like 3 or 4 tier 1 decks, and then you're making 20 decks, 20 plus decks in that block, like, some of them have to be hit and miss. Like, you can't build 20 top tier decks. I mean, it's just not going to happen. It's just not, oh my goodness. The build to smash was his last card. Ooh, okay. Okay. Alright, opponent. Getting there. Hitting me for 7. Come on, land. We got this. We got this. We just need a land. One land. You know, at this point, I think we got time to even take a tapped land. Just give me a land. Oh. You watch the videos for the magic, but you stay for the kitties. Man, I have been a fan of Dev for a really long time, so... yeah. Well, it ain't a land. But she will buy us some time. She'll buy us a lot of time, actually. What is this song? I got a bunch of new music. Okay, Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear May Cry. Alright. Sure. Whatever. You guys glad the music's back? Some of you like it, some of you don't like it. You could watch Dev for like 2 hours. I could watch a lot of his stuff. I really could. Like Dev is he puts out some really good stuff. You like Dev's zombie deck? Did I play his zombie deck? I think I played it. No, the only zombie deck I've played is I tried the blue-black. I just tried to splash the Scarab God in it for some fun, but the song feels like heaven, right? Devil May Cry. Or no, not Devil May Cry. Metal Gear May Cry. Metal Gear May Cry. That's pretty cool. You don't like zombies, right? But dinosaurs. Right? Dinosaurs and big elves riding lizards. So when I think of Still Leaf Champion, I think of the lizards and things like that down in Menzo Barons, and I talk about it a lot, but in Menzo Barons, and like the mount of choice for the Dark Elves is are lizards. So yeah, you're a Lanophile. Oh, so you like Manowar. Okay, so I looked into that weird. So you just like lands? Like you really like land art and things like that, or you like it when they print new lands? Like what do you mean by that? Pirate Tribe for the win, says Steve something. Pirates aren't bad. I don't mind pirates. Did you just say Lizard Riders of House Bay Henry? Is that? Yes, I know that word's Bay Henry, House Bay Henry. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't the current matron matron Darthier Bay Henry, which means like outsider or whatever? She's I think I just Pia Chump. Pray he doesn't have it. Was he bluffing? Was he bluffing? He might have been bluffing. It might not have been bluffing. Maybe I should have Pia and Thopter Chump. That's what I should have done. Thopter, so worst case scenario, could have just walked in the list and shot the other one. Ah, so now he's got a spell. He's going to kill something. He's going to do things. He's going to blur blades. He's going to... What is blur blades going to do? Kill my Thopter. Yeah. Alright. We didn't take any damage here. Well, we took damage from the blur blades. Like, blur blades just... It got us again. Come on, like... Alright, it's tapped. It's tapped. And he's got multiple attackers next turn. We're dead. We have died. This little deck got ahead of us. Only because we're on turn 8. And we finally got our 4th mana. Turn 8 4th land is not where we want to be. We're on the play. Back off on the Glen Siphoners. He might have his blurs of blades, but I'm bringing the Bowman Couriers anyway. Blur of Blades is OP. It is. It took me down to not being able to block. I was at 3 and no longer 5, so I couldn't take the 4 damage from the other dude. Yeah. Yeah, no land forever. Can we do it again? Oh my goodness. We're one land off of Chain Whirl. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I don't care. I don't care. We're one black land from Unlicensed Disintegration. We're one land off of a Chain Whirler. We're 2 lands off of... Yeah, I know. Any land gets us to Harvester. Probably should have mulliganed to a Walking Bullet, or to a Bowmat Courier and some more land, but eh. The ship, right? The ship's going to be good. The ship's going to be good. Right? So that is one of the things I actually suggest to people is when you start buying the new cards in a new set, you're not going to know exactly what you're going to want to play. New things are going to happen, new decks are going to come out, new strategies are going to formulate. Maybe even the way you want to attack the meta is going to be a little bit different. And you know, when you're looking at, you know, what cards do I want to buy out of these new sets and things like that, always grab the lands first. And when it comes time at the end of a set, when you're like, okay, look, I'm going to dump all my standard cards, dump everything except for the lands, because split lands, like those are like on the major reprint list. Very few times, like all the cycling lands that everyone has right now that you may want to be getting rid of at some point, I'm going to highly recommend that you just don't do that. Just don't get rid of them. Oh man, we could unlicense this dude. Yeah, I could just unlicense him. Or I could just play the Harvester and block it. I think I'd do that. I'll just play the Harvester. This way, if he Blur Blades this, we just brew. Blur of Blades. Right, yeah, just the Harvester and come through. I mean, we're not in any position to actually be, like, swinging War Goblin Chain Whirler here, so... And now it's back. Right, lands will rotate out, and then like a couple sets later, they're going to be like, hey, look, it's a good time for this land to come back, and they'll reprint it. So just hang on to your lands, and again, it's always like what you want to get first. So, oh, what do you got, opponent? What do you have? Okay, what do we get? Come on, opponent. You got 4 cards in hand. How many of them are 1-drops? You love R-Tower? What? R-Tower. I'm not... R-Tower came out in 2003. R-Tower. I'm not getting... I don't get the R-Tower reference. Right. Dragon's Summit, been printed how many times, but it's still like $3-4 every time it comes back into print. He doesn't swing. Right, exactly, yeah. Reliquary Tower. Yeah, exactly. Well, Reliquary Tower is... It's one of those cards that's just in like every commander deck ever anyway. Does he have a Blur of Blades here? Is he going for it? He's got a build to smash. We can't block with this. He's got a build to smash. You want to play it now? You want to play the build to smash? You want to hit me for 5? No? You want to save your little combat trick? Okay. Okay. He said he wanted to save his combat tricks, so whatever. What? Subscription? Chris Peltier, thank you so much. Chris just joined us over on Patreon. So thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it. And again, you know, we're trying to get to the point where we can do all leagues. 100% the Patreon supports the channel. Like, I use that money, the Patreon money, to support the channel. So you know, you guys are helping out the channel when you give out there. So, although, you know, if you hit that donation button right here, you're helping pay my bills. Just saying. Hey, I gotta divvy up somehow, right? Let's crew and swing. E-scoops! Right, I mean, like, we're not going to play into his build to smash. And, yeah, that was going to be really bad for him. Having the first strike guy, that sort of thing. We're getting the life link. Yeah, it was going to be bad. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Chris. Gabriel, thank you for submitting your deck. I appreciate it. You need to make your dad submit your deck more often. See, now this was good competitive Magic. All right, Gabe. I really like the fact that you're only playing 3 Scrap Heap Scroungers. I'm real big on that. I like it. It shows that you're kind of in tune with the meta here, with the fact that you know, we're not running into as many control decks as we were before. So, what's Lamp's power and toughness, or is it just an artifact? Lamp's a planeswalker, man. Lamp's a planeswalker. You'll have to look on the Reddit. Somebody made Lamp into a Gabriel's a spike. Yeah, right. I could see that when you posted the deck. Yeah, that Gabriel's a spike. He's like, no, that's weak. I can see it now. Dad, I can't play that card. The card's weak. Dad, that card's too cute. Right? Jareth Miles is a spike. He's like, spikes are cool. But yeah, train him right. Train him on red. There you go. Anyway, I like the idea that, you know, you're not playing into a lot of control and things, and I think 3 Scrap Heap Scrounger is just fine. I'm really happy with the Aether Harvesters in the deck. I think it's just fine, especially when you're running it on, you know, a 2 of. I think if, you know, we were in that scenario where, you know, we're running 4 Hearts of Kirin, then you want 4 Hearts of Kirin, but we're not in that scenario right here. We're in the scenario of we want a couple extra big dudes to block with. We want to be able to get around some board wipes, some things like that. So I like the Aether Harvesters. Unlicensed Disintegration, this card is absolutely brilliant. I love the card. Only thing that I actually think is a little bit weak in this deck is the Vraska's Contempts. I think we're a little bit loaded on Vraska's Contempts, and if anything, it could possibly be in the sideboard. I don't think it's really where I would want to be. Even though Vraska's Contempt is the best card, period, hands down, bar none. Or thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. So it's been good having you here tonight, sir. Anyway, I think that I would put the Vraska's Contempts in the sideboard, and I would run mainboard Chandra. And the reason I would run the mainboard Chandra is she's going to give you the removal for most situations. She's going to give you those opportunities where you can ramp. She's going to give you a lot of opportunities to do, you know, quite a few different things. I mean, getting extra cards off the top of your library, that sort of thing. And then Vraska's Contempts, you know, you can bring that in against, you know, the control decks, you know, some of the other, you know, big decks. But also in the sideboard, I don't think you need 3 hazard. I like the idea that, you know, at some points you have 3 hazards, but I think that the deck can't really get down to 0 quick enough. Like, hazard in this deck, it feels like I'm going ahead and I'm going to concede the fact that I'm not playing hazard on 4 and swinging with it. It's just not going to happen here unless I have, like, mulligan and stuff. As far as hazard goes, though, I think you could get rid of one of these hazards, and the one card that I would add would be another copy of a Braid. And the main reason that I'd want another copy of a Braid is because, you know, when we only have 2 copies of a Braid, yeah, I don't even have another copy of a Braid. Huh, go figure. Anyway, don't I have my promo of Braids? Oh, that's right. Anyway, yeah. I would add another copy of Abraid. Hazard is a great card. There's like, the reason that I say only 2 of him is because like in this deck period, you're just kind of conceding the fact that I'm going to play Hazard late game. There's going to be those games where you just drop Hazard down and you're not ever worried about turning him sideways. The only thing you're worried about is pay 3, chunk this island, take 2. Or chunk this mountain, sorry, no islands here. Anyway, that's kind of like my initial advice. Those are the only real changes I would make initially. I just don't like having 4 double black cards in the main board. The Phyrexian Scriptures, it's cool. I think there's a lot of scenarios right now where this card's absolutely just gonna be bonkers, and mainly just putting a +1/+1 counter on a Goblin Chainwhirler, making that a 4/4 first striker. Terrific, absolutely terrific. That stands up really, really well against most of the Scarab God decks, things like that. They can't get in with those, their 4/4s and things like that. A 4/4 Goblin Chainwhirler is absolutely where you want to be. Unlicensed Disintegration, I think Unlicensed Disintegration is absolutely terrific. It's probably all you really need against most of the Scarab God decks if they're just waiting to hit turn 5 Scarab God and then wait. Like, you can go at the beginning of your end step, use the Unlicensed Disintegration. My screen went black. At the beginning of your end step, use the Unlicensed Disintegration, and with that, like killing the Scarab God at the beginning of your end step, they won't get it back to the beginning of their end step. So it'll sit in the graveyard for a whole turn, and they can't just throw it back on the battlefield. And that's normally all you need to be able to, kind of finish the deal or get them close enough. That's kind of another reason I like Chandra. Chandra is going to give you a little bit of extra burn damage and things like that, allowing you to put some burn. Go ahead and put burn on something that's going to be blocking, and then go ahead and swing. Like, I know that doesn't sound great because they can always go, well, fine, I'm just not going to block. But if they do that, then they're just taking the damage from like a Goblin Chainwhirler or something like that. Chandra deals with the Still Leaf Champions and things like that, and I don't think it's ever going to be a hindrance for you to cast. I think that if you're going to bring in Vraska's Contempt, I think it needs to be against like a Teferi deck. It needs to be against something that you're going to have a hard time swinging in at. Otherwise, if it's a Planeswalker, just go ahead and swing at it and kill it anyway. So if you're going to be killing creatures most of the time with Vraska's Contempt, I think that Hour of Glory is still better. It's more consistent. You're going to be able to play it more often. It'll deal with Ronus. It'll deal with the Scarab God. It'll deal with opposing Hazarets, things like that. Also, you go ahead and look at their hand, rip any additional copies they may have, because a lot of times they'll throw the Scarab God down knowing they've got a backup. And Hour of Glory really, really plays with that. So, Hour Glory. Probably don't have any copies of Hour of Glory, but I'll pull it up so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. There we go. Hour of Glory. 1 black mana, 3 colorless, instant speed. Exile target creature. If that creature was a god, its controller reveals their hand and exiles all cards from it with the same name. So you can still exile any creature. Lyra, things like that. It's just when it's a hazard, when it's a Ronus, when it's the Scarab God, you get them all. So, can Heart of Kirin be in Gabriel's deck? Probably, especially if you have like the Chandras and the Karns. You've got 3 power here. You've got 3 power here on the Scrapheap Scoundrel. You've got 3 power on the PNLR. If I was going to put Heart of Kirin in the deck, I would probably trim at least 1, maybe 2 Walking Ballistas. Also, I think that 1 Walking Ballista is your next trim card if you end up needing some other card in the deck for whatever reason. Maybe you need an extra Abrade main board because everyone's playing Godpharaoh's Gift all of a sudden. I think I would cut 1 Walking Ballista. It's not a bad card, not a bad card at all. It stacks up really, really nice with your first strike and things like that, being able to put that damage, or being able to threaten putting that damage out there is absolutely terrific. But I do think that if you're going to cut another card, if you find something else that you want to put into the deck, I think the next cut is going to be Walking Ballista. And if you do add anything else to the deck, throw you another spray in, throw you another a braid, something like that, and then that's it, man. Like, I think the deck's pretty solid. I like that you have, you know, draw options with your glint sleeves and things like that. Let me pull that out where you guys can see. Draw options with your glint sleeves and stuff. Glory Bringers are absolutely terrific. I get it that you probably have some problems with Approach of the Second Sun. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be running this at all. So yeah, I mean, you can also call Teferi. You can call things like that. So Lost Legacy is pretty good. You can call the Scarab God. You can call Galta. I know Galta can sometimes be a problem for some of these decks, but more or less, I really like the deck. I think the deck was a lot of, and yeah, I think this is the configuration that I would probably, and that ain't real far from what you got going on. So I mean, I really don't have a whole lot to say about it. I am going to say that Spilled Ruin, it feels a little bad. Maybe it should just be another mountain, or even an Aether Hub for that matter. I don't think I would want more than 3 non-red sources in the deck. So yeah. But yeah, if you wanted to put Heart of Kirin, or at least 1, maybe 2 Hearts of Kirin in the deck, probably not a bad idea. So yeah, that's what I've got, guys. I hope you had fun watching this deck. I know I had a lot of fun playing it. The deck was really sweet. Gabe, I know, or Gabriel, sorry, you may not go by the nickname Gabe. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the deck. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. And it was a lot of fun, man. What's funny is you told Gabriel to run Contempt mainboard, and he was like, I don't like it. So he's with me on this one. There you go. Cool. Oh man, does that mean that you're getting one of those? See, Dad? See? Come on, I told you that we couldn't run Vraska's Contempt in this red-black deck. Right? You got a playset? Thanks for running it. Hey, man, no problem, man. You get called Gabe. Alright, well, just because you get called Gabe doesn't mean you like it, so. Told you so, Dad! Alright, man. MTG, what's up? Mighty Ragnarok, you thought it was a cool deck. You did enjoy the gameplay. More importantly, I hope you enjoyed playing it, Eric. Well, you know, Mighty Ragnarok, Mighty Thor, well, no, Mighty Apocalypse, so is that Ragnarok? Isn't that when it's all over? Anyway, thanks, I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun playing it. It was good. Like, my wife, she plays a red-black mid-range deck, too. She plays, like, I don't know, just as whatever, she looks up whatever was last week's winning red-black deck, slaps that down and says, hey, let's roll with that. Yeah, this is her red-black mid-range right here. And if you look at her red-black mid-range here, and I'll just let you kind of glance at it. 4 Bomat Couriers, 2 Shocks. You've got a Braid. She's got Shock. I'm not 100% on the Shocks, but she likes to be able to get those out because she's got her 2 Hazards of the Fervent. You almost have like this entire configuration in your deck. We're running the Chandra's main board. We're actually running a couple more than most people. 1 extra than most people here. The Kari Zeb is probably our cut card here, so yeah. We need to have D&D conference. We need to have a D&D conference. I like your gusto, man. Well, muchos gusto to you too, amigo. Sorry, I laid it on too thick. Oh, that was way too thick. Oh, just too much application of redneck accent. Nice to meet you too, friend. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Anyway, yeah, this is Val's version. She's got the Glory Bringers, the 2 Rekindling Phoenix, Hazards, Chandra's. Like, you're basically this deck in a different configuration. She has no Heart of Kirin's. Instead, she's got a couple lightning strikes, which honestly you might have a better configuration there. And then, of course, in her sideboard, she's got a couple things different from you. She's running some Doomfalls, which if you wanted to throw some Doomfalls in, they're really, really good. And then Hour of Glory is really good. We talked about that. Of course, the Duress, PNLR. PNLR is kind of like her anti-mirror matchup or something like that. And then Chandra's Defeat's another really good card you can put in if you start running into a bunch of red decks, even a bunch of Grixis decks. You can kill Bolas with a Chandra's Defeat. So that's something to think about. And then, of course, more Rekindling Phoenix, because Rekindling Phoenix destroys the mono green decks. I bet you just love when he plays Rekindling Phoenix, don't you, Mr. Willig? And then, of course, Hour of Devastation, just another really good card. And another card that you might want to consider, depending on how many green decks start showing up, would be some, Cut to Ribbons. Cut to Ribbons is just another really good way to deal 4 damage. Kills Glorybringers, kills, Still Leaf Champions, Brontodons, things like that. And then, of course, it kills all the things under that. I'm just naming the big ones. But, if it can kill those, it can kill the smaller ones. So, Cut's really good, and then Ribbons just finishing people off is also really good. So, Jareth Miles says, there's a finite amount of fun to be had in Magic. You should want to have all of it. That's right. That should be our slogan right there. There's only so much fun can be had in this game, and we've got to have all of it. Just all of it. I do want to give you guys a quick update because we had a problem last night with the stream, and might be a little bit. Are we freeze framing right now? We had a little bit of a problem last night with the stream. Power went out here. We lost internet, and then 2 minutes later, the power went out. So, weren't able to go back and play more of those mill decks. I'm going to play the mill again. I'm probably just going to pick a day and just play some of the mill decks. But Zaxadillo, if you get a chance to see this and you watch it all the way to this point, I'm going to play with your mill deck again. I really liked how it played. It seems like a lot of other people liked how it played. The control aspects of it were there, so expect that we'll see some mill again. Gabriel, thank you so much for your deck. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. Guys, I hope you had a lot of fun watching it. You've been watching SideboardMTG here on YouTube Gaming. Have fun, and we'll see you next time.